said it was nothing, just lights in the trees, a trick of the frost, a ghost on the breeze. But I saw a mirror older than me, staring through time like it wanted to speak. The forest went silent, the world held its breath. Something was watching beyond life and death. We stepped through the green, boots breaking the seal, not chasing a light, but something too real. I came back with salt on my skin, my mind split wide when the storm got in. They call it a test, but I know the deal. History blinks beneath the green veil.
And good evening, everyone, as we are here for Chapter 7, the Reclamation Code, which we will begin shortly. But first, I want to say hello to John and Christopher. How are you?
Very good.
So as we hit the air, of course, today is the anniversary. That's why I'm wearing this cap, 9/11, for those in memory of all those that perished and all those who sacrificed the heroes right after the events in Manhattan occurred. So thoughts and prayers to all those that were affected. I lost a friend personally. So that's, I was there in the city when that all went down. But again, thoughts and prayers to all those folks, the family members, friends, co-workers, etc. And of course, the police officers, firefighters, the first responders, all those that sacrificed to save others, true heroes. Anyway, with that being said, gentlemen, Chapter 7. After seeing Chapter 6, I was like, okay. Because John, you know how he was last week, right, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
We're throwing up the...
Reminds me of Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing. Nothing.
But I think we're on the kind of... He said we're like at the 20-yard line. Because every week on the weekend, Saturdays, we have the recap show, preview show, which airs at 8 p.m. Eastern live. So I'm really curious to see how this chapter... Now, this chapter's it goes by pretty quick, so we're going to play it. It's 13 minutes approximately long. So why don't we just jump right into it, and let's get right to Chapter 7 right now, which is the Reclamation Code. So, gentlemen, and those that are watching and listening, I hope you enjoy it. And here we go.
Previously, in Chapter 6, Jack Barrett and Sergeant B were drawn back into the forest under orders cloaked in secrecy. What began as a containment mission quickly unraveled into something far stranger, an encounter not only with the anomaly, but with time itself. Surveillance teams monitored from afar. The mist returned. Lights danced above Capel Green. Then Jack vanished again, into the pulse. 4 Air Force personnel witnessed it, men trained for war, not the metaphysical. And what they saw, Jack's form phasing out of sequence, the beam of light descending, time collapsing like breath pulled inward, was burned into their memories. Back at command, Captain Christopher Pike watched the readings spike. Voss tried to rationalize. Huntergreen, however, moved into position. The cover story would begin immediately. No congressional hearing, no reports filed. Just layers of silence. Now, the morning after the event, Lieutenant Colonel Ross Denning was already showing signs of behavioral conditioning, trigger words embedded deep, old programming reactivated. He had led the recovery team, but now he could be used in other ways. Huntergreen took control, answering only to the CIA director. Jack was missing. Again. And the anomaly wasn't done with them. Sergeant B, fragmented but still tethered, would have to return. There was no other choice. To bring Jack back, they would need to build another bubble. Only this time, it wouldn't be an accident. it would be an invocation.
Beyond the frost, beyond the veil, we walk the edge where memories fail. A shimmer broke the midnight air, and time unspooled beyond repair. Through the rift we lost our name, carried by a light, return in flame. One stepped forward, one remained. The echo split, but never waned. The forest watched with ancient eyes as futures bled from fractured skies. It called us back, it knew the cost, to take him back or leave him lost. The shadow moved, the truth deceived, but something greater was conceived. In that stillness something spoke. You are the fracture and the cloak. Through the rift, through veiled command, we touch the truth we'd never planned. And now the ones who dare recall stand ready for the final call.
The cover-up began before dawn. Within hours of Jack Barrett's disappearance into the second anomaly, command channels erupted in controlled chaos. The 5-man Air Force team dispatched by the wing commander consisted of Captain Devin Haynes, Technical Sergeant Luis Moreno, Senior Airman Trent Vickers, Airman First Class Neil Avery, Lieutenant Colonel Ross Denning, team lead. Each had witnessed what could only be described as a rift in the forest, a shimmering pocket where light bent, time slowed, and Jack Barrett vanished before their eyes. A white-hot pulse had expanded outward. Sergeant B had tried to pull Jack back, but it was too late. The light collapsed into itself, leaving only frost and silence. Lieutenant Colm Denning, though experienced, stood paralyzed. His eyes locked forward as if waiting for a command that never came. Later in the debriefing, he described a momentary absence of will, as if someone else was holding the strings. That someone was Christopher Huntergreen. Back at the secure wing of Martlesham Heath, Dr. Voss and Pike scrambled to draft a containment narrative, but Huntergreen took control. Denning had been compromised, his mind woven with trigger phrases embedded during earlier conditioning sessions. He was one of several Null Command operatives, pre-programmed to respond to very specific cues under high-stress phenomena. With Denning now compromised, Huntergreen assumed total operational authority. He reported only to the director. "This isn't a retrieval mission," Huntergreen said flatly. "It's containment." "But Jack's still alive in there," Pike argued. Voss stood silent, watching the signal pulse on the telemetry. "He's not just alive," he said finally. "He's broadcasting." Operation Echo Re-entry. Creating a second bubble was risky. The technology had never been tested outside of controlled parameters. The first anomaly had formed naturally, perhaps with subtle provocations. But to force one open again required a full reconstruction of the harmonic sequence embedded in Jack's exposure. They used Barrett's original biosignal signature, layered against EEG patterns extracted from Sergeant B. "He was closest to him when the echo burst," Voss explained. "The field entangled them both. That's the key." The site was cleared. Ground resonance spikes were placed. A modified starlight scope fed directly into the temporal loop predictor. Sergeant B stood at the forest's edge, sweat already running despite the cold. He didn't understand everything, but he knew one thing. Jack had stayed for him. Now it was his turn. Inside the anomaly. When the second field stabilized, Sergeant B stepped through. The sensation was immediate, like stepping between glass and memory. Light shimmered sideways. Sound bent inward. And there he was. Jack Barrett, eyes unfocused, body crouched defensively. His breath came in sharp bursts, unaware of where or when he truly was. "Jack," Sergeant B called out. At first, no response. Then Jack turned. "You came back. Let's get out of here." Behind them, the light pulsed. The air screamed. Aftermath. The 5 team members were debriefed, memory muted, and reassigned. Official logs would show nothing, just a training exercise. Radar glitch, misidentified aerial event. But each of them knew the truth. And now Huntergreen had control. The forest would never give them answers, only thresholds. And Jack Barrett had just crossed his second. They brought Jack back. Not with ceremony, not with understanding, just light and a terrible silence. He collapsed in the clearing, eyes wide but unfocused, the frost beneath him untouched by time. The others stepped back, unsure whether they had retrieved a man or something transformed. Sergeant B stood over him, trembling. He had heard the signal again, but it wasn't a voice this time. It was music, distant, harmonic, structured like language. Inside the debriefing chamber, Voss watched Jack's vital signs return to human range. Barely. "We don't understand what we pulled out," Pike admitted. "No," Voss said quietly, "but it remembers everything." Huntergreen issued the next directive before the room cleared. Jack Barrett would never be the same. Neither would Earth, because whatever reached through that aperture wasn't done. It had simply been mapping its return. Next, in Chapter 8, Shadow Mirror Underground Site Delta, a secure decontamination bay. Jack stands before his own reflection, but it doesn't move with him. A shadow behaving independently, a consciousness behaving collectively. The CIA launches an internal investigation as Project Mirrorlink is reactivated. Shared visions, echoes of selves. The phenomenon is stabilizing and responding. But across the sea, Soviet monitors intercept anomalous radar echoes near Capel Green. Jack is about to meet his future again, inside a structure that was never built by humans, and one message reverberates through the resonance field. You're already inside.
Through the silence of time, I walked alone, but the stars knew my name in undertone. From Rendlesham woods to Saturn skies, I carried the echo, I lived the why. It wasn't the end, it was unfolding. Not contact made, but truth beholding. Beyond the war, beyond the flame, we weren't just shadows, we became. We became the song inside the lattice, carved in light, born from the static. We became the dream that...
All right. So there you go, guys. Chapter 7. John already knows because he wrote the thing. You know, he already knows what's going on. He knows what's going to happen throughout the whole series. We're here, you and I, Chris, waiting, chomping at the bit. What's going to be coming next? Like, before we even started the show, he's talking about Chapter 8. Wait till Chapter 8. You're going to...
Yeah.
Like, really? Come on.
What I get is he says, I just rewrote the whole thing. And I go, wait a minute.
He remember he said,
Get an idea what's going on here.
the knuckleball, the knuckle curve is coming. Like, what was it, John? 11 or 12?
12 through 22.
Here we go. But getting it's on all.
But I want to make this clear. I rewrote it in May. That was before 3 Atlas showed up on the radar in June.
And that's been making the news even as
big time. It's growing by the day. Did you hear the latest?
No.
It doesn't. It didn't have a tail, which is why they were getting concerned. But what was in front of it is plasma, and now the plasma is starting to come over the whole craft.
I have not heard this one.
Yeah, that came out, including the WoW stuff. This is all starting to leak out. That this is a lot more than what people are being told.
Because I'm curious, what are the sources on that? Is this coming from the scientists observing it in the
Yeah, it's coming from Javi Loeb is updating this. And this was an update that he just did with Representative Luna.
I know.
They did an hour interview, and some of it has to do with 3 Atlas.
It's funny you bring that up because I actually did some digging on this, and it's quite interesting. Now, as we are on the air right now, I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it happens. And we'll get in a few minutes. We have a few minutes to get into what happened in Chapter 7 here. But what you just mentioned, I actually, and I'm going to try to pull it up on my screen to show everyone. I actually downloaded the letter that Luna wrote to the acting NASA administrator. And it was in July when Avi came out with his article. And she's really pushing for this because what the following mission that they want to do, Juno, sending the Juno spacecraft that's been orbiting and surveying Jupiter. It pretty much has exhausted its lifespan. They were going to have a burn where it goes into deorbit into Jupiter's atmosphere. But they're saying this is a great opportunity. They have to do it now, soon. Like, I don't know if they've done it already or as we're on the air right now, to have an observance at its closest proximity that it can get to, which is about 20 million miles, mid-March of next year. Now, this made me think, John, because Chris, he's mentioned about something also in 2026. I don't know if this has to do with that, but if this happens,
did you hear the latest update on when it's supposed to be visible again?
No.
They've changed it.
What is it now?
December 19th.
Oh, I saw that. That's okay. So I saw that's the closest proximity that it'll get to Earth. Even though
that's when it's going to be visible again. That's 5 days from December 24th.
I did research on this, and I heard it's going to be visible starting in the early December.
They changed it.
Okay,
December 15th.
that's interesting.
You know, let me chime in on this Atlas thing. There are people who are absolutely convinced this is a comet, and there's people absolutely convinced that this is some sort of alien probe. So, I mean, you're not really getting a straight answer. I mean, Avi Loeb, from what I've been told, Avi Loeb was misinterpreted because he said, "What if it was a alien craft?" But I don't think he believes it's an alien craft. But then, as John was saying before, there's some very strange things happening with it that a comet wouldn't show. Am I right on that, John?
It's not. The latest update just came at the end of the week. It's not a comet. They've said that. It's not. A comet would have a tail, and this doesn't have a tail.
Right.
And it actually now has a plasma shield in front of it.
So here you go. Here's the letter that Luna wrote to the acting administrator for NASA, Sean Duffy. And it goes into sending...
Duffy's in charge of NASA right now?
He's the acting administrator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what this letter says here. The Honorable Sean Duffy, acting administrator.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
So this is the letter that she actually wrote. It mentions Avi's analysis. She attached the paper associated with it. And they're talking about the burn, what it would take to do the intercept sometime in mid-March. So, yeah. And it would cost about $15 million per 6 months from the current expiration date due mid-September. So, again, guys, this thing has had it's done. It's pretty much, it's actually gone further than they hoped and wished for. This thing has exceeded all expectations, Juno. Why not? Why not send it on a one-way bye-bye?
Well, they can send it, but they're going to know what this is in October. Watch. Right about Halloween time, all heck is going to break loose on this. Watch.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Going
It
back
could be earlier, but I'd say right around Halloween it's going to get very, very interesting.
Well, John, what do you think? What do you think it is? What's your opinion?
It's a signal activator.
Okay. All right. A signal that will be heard by just certain people or all people?
Well, I'd give away some of what's coming up.
well, here we go.
I'm just telling you straight up. There's something that's going to have to activate. That's all I'm telling you.
Well, Chris, look at chapter 7, what we just seen.
Right. But what I'm saying is that, and this is not about chapter 7, but I just want to say, John, there are people similar to yourself that have had encounters and stuff, and they always claim, very, very many of the people who've had abductions or encounters claim that they've had been downloaded with something.
It's not downloaded, Chris. That's the
this is what they're saying.
I know, but they've been activated, and in chapter 8 it goes into that and how people are activated.
Okay, but in chapter 7, because it's weird. After I seen this, I was talking about music and the frequencies, and there is something in music that has that connection, and the signal. Like he's saying, if it's activated, some people may pick up on it, some people may not. Some people may ignore what's right in front of them, or just say, "Oh, they just might discount it completely," or be in some kind of a self-denial. It would be really interesting if this signal, depending on how it affects each individual, if they pick up on the resonance from it. That's one. And then is it actually, like John mentioned last week, is it activating something in the DNA? It's activating that connection, and that's already in us. It's not a download. It's already part of us. And the
switch has got to be turned on.
Right.
That's what's going to happen. It's like the computer is going to be turned on by this object. And then the next step comes from that.
Okay, but go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say, in chapter 7, when you're disappear, and they are trying to. I'm going to not without giving away a lot of what's going on with it because I want people to watch Chapter 7. When they're trying to do a rescue mission, is the best way I could do saying it without giving away the whole plot. They know that you are transmitting. They know that there's a transmission. They can hear it. And
he's not lost in there, right? There's
Right.
right.
So
Well, this
there's
is the after they've watched it, Chris.
what's
They've
that?
already watched this, so they know that.
Well, yeah, but there's a rescue mission taking place.
Right.
Right. And so without giving it away, but they know that you're still alive and stuff because there's a transmission being done.
Yes.
I'm trying to go around the circle, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't give away everything. So I mean, so we know there's a transmission being done. We know that they are there are certain scientists, certain people who are now purposely trying to connect with the NHIAI that is encompassing you.
There's another thing though, Chris. They also are trying to recreate.
Right, they're trying to do a connection.
Right, recreate.
In order to do you're going a little far. I'm trying to be like John.
But no, Chris, they've already watched it.
Yes, they just seen it right now. So
just-
I know, but I just don't want to give away too much and stuff like that. And I understand that
people are coming in like, yes, they may not have seen it. It's true.
right.
Yeah,
and stuff.
okay, that's fair. Okay.
So what I'm saying is, there's a transmission. We know, and they're the people who are doing this are trying to contain it, and they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to create the connection for you. They're not really worried, from what I got from the Chapter 7, not really worried about you. They're more or less trying to connect with this, you know, and Sergeant B is actually the hero of the kind of thing because he bravely goes in after you and yanks you out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, now he's got me, Chris, and I'm sure everybody that's watching this right now, he's teasing Chapter 8. So it was, you could see how one individual took this completely over, and that would be Mr. Green.
Yeah, Huntergreen.
Yeah, Huntergreen takes it over. Everybody, someone's compromised. You're done. This is me. I'm taking control. We have to control, contain,
Yep.
and
But you guys missed something that's key to this.
well, we got like 2 minutes. What is it?
The team that went out there was led by a lieutenant colonel. And that colonel was already pre-programmed to deal with this whole thing.
No, I saw that. I remember that right just now.
That's an important part.
Yeah.
He was programmed to deal with this.
Pre-programmed.
Pre-programmed, yes.
So judging by that, we know that there's programs been going on for quite a while in order to pre-program people for this event.
Yeah, they were reactivating a new program. It's called MirrorLink.
And so basically, there's probably more people like this lieutenant colonel that they've pre-programmed for this type of event to take place in order for communication.
I will end it at this because believe it or not, already, guys, we're out of time. But what if they can also, at the same way as they pre-program, deprogram someone? In other words, instead of inserting memories.
But they already tried that, Bill. I mean, they tried to
remove,
redo John's memory.
Exactly. Or suppress. You know what I mean? So it works both ways. Pre-programming or maybe reprogramming someone.
Well, the reprogramming is memory. Remember, there's a battle kind of going on between the people who are trying to reprogram his memory and the NHIAI that is trying to bring some of it back. John, you've been quiet on this whole thing.
We need some closing thoughts before we wrap this up from you, because he's not going to give away anything, but come on, help us out here.
It's good. I'm glad you guys are going this way. I hope more and more people start to put this all together, or try to put this together.
Hey, Chris, put up your hand. Put your hand up. I'm going to give you a high five because I think we're on the right track, dude.
Oh, I think we're on the right track.
Until the curveball comes.
Let me just say this to the folks. Folks, really go back and watch chapter 1. Chapter 1 is actually got more information than people think. It's not just an opening to this great series, but it really tells you a lot. It kind of puts you on the path of what John is talking about, so you can kind of get ahead a little.
And one other thing, there's a message hidden in this last song in this chapter. You guys both may have missed it.
Yeah, man.
In chapter 1?
No, this chapter right here.
This chapter here?
There was a message. And in the next chapter, it's even a better message. It's inside the song.
What did I tell you when I first started this, Bill? The song had the story in it.
Certain part of the story that's missing in the rest of it, it's in the song.
All right.
Do you remember when they had in Contact, they had to get the primer to make it work?
Mm-hmm.
The primers are hidden in the song for the particular chapter.
All right, so for those that are watching and listening right now, this airs obviously on Thursday nights. Homework. Let's see if anybody on our live show on Saturday can pick out what John just mentioned. There's something there within the song. And let's see, put it in chat. Let's see if anybody guesses it right. Let's see. So there's a little prep for the Saturday show that airs at 8 p.m. Eastern live with John, Chris, and myself, and also joined by Commander Cobra, and at some point the Padre, Dan Carlson, will be joining us as well. But anyway, guys, we got to go. We got to wrap this up. All right. See you everybody next Thursday for John Burroughs, Chris DePerno, and myself. We'll see you next week. Hope you enjoy it. And if you haven't seen them, make sure you go back and catch up to this series, because I'm telling you, it's really getting intense right now. And I can only assume it's going to get way better. So make sure to, if you catch up if you haven't, and we'll see everybody next week. Until then, for John Burroughs, Chris DePerno, and myself, have a great night, and we'll see you next week.